My name is Lorella Rouster, and along with my late husband, John, we had the privilege of founding Every Child Ministries back in 1985. Well, my husband and I had served with another mission organization beginning in 1981, and at that time we saw that there were churches in Congo, but those churches were not reaching the children. When we were called to Africa, we had received a brochure in the mail that talked about the need for farmers and English teachers. And of course, John was a farmer and I was an English teacher, so that was a natural fit for us. And we did do some of both of those things when we got to Africa, but just looking at the need, comparing the need with our giftings of what we had to offer, it just seemed that teaching children was the fit. We both recognized it. We had the vision to reach children because we saw that they'd ring the church bell. Kids would come running. They were so excited they would fill the church. But then, before any teaching was given, they would be kicked out. The children would be forced to leave because there really was not room for them and the adults as well. The children wanted to come, they were interested, and they were denied that opportunity. And we began to think, there's something wrong with this. Jesus said, let the children come to me. So we began to start Sunday schools at another time for the children. And that started the direction that we were going in reaching children. So the first Sunday that we were going to have Sunday school, we announced that it would be at a certain time. I think it was like 8 o'clock, if I remember right. I was still in my robe, enjoying a second cup of coffee, hadn't even started getting ready to go to church yet. One of the missionary kids that lived next door came running over and said, Aunt Lorella, they've already filled up the church. They're waiting for Sunday school. Went out and looked, and I saw kids coming from every direction, and I knew I needed to get ready real fast. And so they were very excited from the beginning. The church leadership was very accepting. The children came in groves, so it was very successful. I think I knew what I was getting into. God had really prepared us for that in several ways. One was we were both raised a little bit on the poor side by parents who came through the Great Depression, and we really were raised with a very make-do kind of attitude. We'd learned those kind of skills growing up, and then John worked on the farm where you learn all kinds of practical skills, some of which he used in Africa. And then the missionary biographies, having read many of those and having read them to our children, was just an immense help. John was always involved in construction. He built so many buildings during our time in Africa, beginning with a nurse's home in Congo, and then, of course, Haven of Hope in Ghana, Mission Garazim, and so on. When we began building Mission Garazim, in the beginning, they were mixing the cement by hand, and they had no power tools whatsoever, only hand tools. And it was a bigger job than it is here in the U.S.
Where did the name come from?
Every Child Ministries, we really wanted to reach every child with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so that was the name that we chose. It's not easy to start a mission organization. It's easy to get the basic papers that you need. It takes years to build confidence with people so that they trust you and know that what you're doing is real and genuine. And that's what we devoted our lives to. In the beginning, we kind of stood on the shoulders of the senior missionary family that was working with us. There were 2 of us there on the mission station, 2 families, the Smiths and then us. That was a big advantage because they taught us what they knew. They helped us learn the language. They gave us advice and so on. Later, when we started Mission Garazim, our vision was to train teachers of teachers, like teacher trainers. So our vision was that they would then be trained to go out and train others to become teachers. So the first step often was to talk to the pastors and help them to understand the importance of children. And some pastors had a little trouble with that. It was not a natural part of their background at the beginning, but many of them came on board, and usually when they saw the effectiveness of the Sunday schools in other villages, then they were excited to get on board with the Sunday school ministry. I think that when you use national staff, you just multiply your effectiveness and the possibilities. I mean, right now there are over 6,000 Sunday schools that have been started through ECM training. How many of those did John and Lorella start? I don't know, probably 10. I don't know. But there are, because we trained others, and then they trained others, and they trained others, then it can go on, it can multiply exponentially. I think speaking the language also built trust. After we were able to speak it well, we were considered almost like one of them. And honestly, we felt like one of them. You forget that after a while that you're an American, or that you're even a different skin color than they are, because you speak the same language, you're living there together. And so that built a lot of confidence. A few months back, sometime in the last year or so, ECM published in one of their newsletters a story about a girl from northern Uganda who had become a teacher and was so thrilled to be teaching others. I cried when I read that story. I cried because I knew that girl in the beginning, and then to see that just in my lifetime, a little girl was able to grow up and become a teacher and find such joy in it, giving back to others. That was incredible. That was worth it all. And then also I met a boy in Congo, a young man in Congo, and he said, "Mama, I don't know if you remember me. I was in one of the Sunday schools where you used to come for Sunday school. And I received Christ in Sunday school, and now I am director of an orphanage." And just to see children come from below zero and then to make something of their lives, not only just to have a good life themselves, but to help other people, that's worth giving your life for. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. It's been an amazing life. People talk about, oh, you made such sacrifices. What? No, we had such wondrous privileges. We have been so blessed through being involved with this ministry. Yes, there have been heartaches. There have been hard things. It's been uncomfortable at times, but it's been so worth it. I hope we will stay true to the gospel. I hope we will share it at every opportunity. And I hope that we will help many more vulnerable children. I would love for ECM to be a stepping stone to helping them realize that God loves them and that they are valuable and that they can contribute to this world and that they can grow and help others. And if it does those things, I'll be very, very happy, which is what we're doing now.